everybody. Thank you, SRM team and the faculty members for having me in your summer workshop. It's a very thoughtful initiative to train students and take the initiative to educate students during this pandemic. And I'm happy to be a part of your educational group in providing the two cents of whatever I have learned in my life and in my industry. So, sir has given a short profile of me. To start with, I will just give a brief of who am I and what has brought me here. So, I started my career as an hardcore salesperson. If I have to say very precisely, I've been to all the nooks and corners of Chennai in my two-wheeler selling coffee machines. So I had completed my MBA in marketing, and I got like campus placement, and I was selected as a territory sales manager in Coffee Day, where we have to like literally go and sell coffee machines to corporate offices. So we will have like monthly targets where we'll have to go and sell coffee machines. So I was into it for like almost 1 year. I didn't want to quit, but also I didn't like the job much because it tested me as a woman, and it was like a lot of physical activity involved. I like every day I have to be on the roads. So 1 year I gave it a try, and after that I got my calling for digital marketing. Uh, I would I always had the passion for writing, creative thinking. I think that's already in my blood. So I felt I have to like go to the right calling, and that was the right time when I entered Economy. I joined as an intern for like almost like 6 months, where I was given like some kuti brands to handle, and I was given blogs to write. After which I got promoted as social media executive, and I was given little important brands to handle. When I say brands to handle, what we do is we manage the online presence of different brands. So I was working as a social media executive for almost an year. Then after 1 year of performance and having bagged like two awards, Maddie's Awards for Levista Coffee marketing campaigns and the Quick Learner of 2019 and all such accolades, with I was promoted as a senior social media strategist in the same company, where I was given some premium brands in the industry like Levista Coffee, Infinitism, if you have heard of, Urban Tree, the most celebrated Chennai brand, DAC promoters, Wink Salon in Chennai, uh, JCS Jewel Creations. So my kitty is like I have had a mix of all brands. So after which I was like handling like for two years into senior social media executive, and then I shifted to Spinta Digital as a social media manager now. So I have quite a lot of experience with uh, taking your brand online and how to leverage your brand voice online. So I think in your yesterday session, you had a good productive session with the Kolapasi director on how to begin your startup if you have an idea. So following that, if you are having a startup or if you have an idea, if you have an ignition right now to start your business, I hope many of you would agree with me. Whatever business be it, may it you start a textile business or a coffee shop or whatever you are starting, whatever is your idea, social media presence at the right moment is what will leverage your brand. I think most of you will agree, because considering this lockdown pandemic, it's the mobile phones and the internet that we are all dependent on 24 cross 7. So without social media, our lives would be like 90% we will hang somewhere. So if you're having an idea, and today's session, I will take you through how to strategize your online presence for your own brand. If you have an idea, and if you don't have an idea of how to start with social media, with the I have like some already 520. Okay, if you have an idea or if you are looking for some random ways to start your brand online presence, I will take you through some basics of how it has to be done and what other brands have done, so that you will get an idea. Maybe you can add more feathers to your idea. And if given an opportunity, I would like to take a detailed session, because 1 hour to understand social media or to convince you why your brand has to come into social media wouldn't be enough. So I will just take you through the basics of what is social media marketing and why your brand needs to jump into social media. So let's get into the subject. You guys are able to see my screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, I will, as I said, the basics of what is social media marketing and why your business needs a compelling presence on social media. Now let's start with India and the internet. Now, how the pandemic has affected our lives and how it has changed our lives. Now, this is a metric which was collected based on the internet usage as on January 2021. Indian population as on January 2021 has been 1.39 billion, which is a 1% increase from the last year. And if you see mobile connections, it is 1.10 billion, which has seen an increase in 2%. And internet users, the new connections that people have got, it has been at 624 million, which has seen an increase of 8% when compared to the last year. So why I am stressing on the last year comparison is 2020 March is where our lives entirely changed, where the demographics of India has drastically changed. So in comparison to that, this is the statistics. And social media users, if you see, it has got an whopping increase of 21%. 448 million people have opened their social media accounts. 21% increase in 1 year is the largest by so far in the history of India. This pandemic has changed the way internet has been working so far. So this first slide is an enough compelling point to jump into social media. Be it whatever you are doing, social media is going to rule the Indian business market for sure. As I said, the virus changed the way we internet, right? So the virtual world has welcomed educational institutions, theaters, offices. Educational institutions, see now, maybe it would have been a conference, a physical conference happening at your college, right? You would have had like melas, talentina, cultural events. So much would have happened in the physical space. But now we're all into the virtual world, and nothing has stopped us from conducting such events. We have found our own ways to be connected with people. Now, when I say educational institutions, it includes schools and colleges. They have shifted their classes to video conferencing platforms like Zoom and Google Meet, as we are doing now. Along with these synchronous modes of teaching, asynchronous platforms, when I say asynchronous platforms, they are like edX and Coursera. They have also seen an increase in enrollments. When I say Coursera, I'm sure being college students, many of you would have taken courses in your leisure time from Coursera to enrich your knowledge, to make yourself equipped to the job that you are aspiring for, maybe some coding language or whatever. Coursera has a lot of courses that you can buy and learn for a very nominal price. So these asynchronous platforms have also seen increase in enrollments. Some institutions are now entirely shifting to the online mode for the forthcoming academic year. That is a big news which is already happening across the globe. Now, with the exception of sessions that require a physical presence, now be it like PT classes or games classes, now except that, many institutions are considering to completely turn it, because this is productive and this is cost effective, and they're able to drive and engage with their students most effectively than from classrooms. So some universities across the globe that have entirely converted to online mode for this academic year are University of Cambridge in the UK and the California State System in the US. The Cambridge University and the CSS in US this academic year are going to be completely online. And they have also reported that if this goes successful, and if this they are able to produce 100% results, no matter the pandemic continues or not, no matter the lockdown continues or not, the institutions have planned to continue the online mode of education. Isn't that the big news? Yeah. So when we come to offices, we have all like very used to work from home, and we were all like very excited when we started working from home. But that now has slowly fallen down to becoming depression and anxiety attacks for people. So techno giants have already invested in bandwidth expansion, network equipment, and software that leverages cloud services. So they, compared to educational institutions, offices are the most profitable industry in the pandemic because like office space like electricity bill they don't have to pay the miscellaneous for the employees, so they are able to earn much more, and many businesses are now jumping into the market, so they don't have any scarcity for clients. There are only new clients coming in for them for social media. So they are more profitable, and they are looking for ways to continue this even after the lockdown is over. So with employees becoming acclimatized to the idea of working from home, meeting and transacting online, firms will shift to work from home as a norm rather than as an exception. So now we're all working from home, we are all learning from home as an option because we're all dumped into our homes only because of the government orders. Now that will become a norm itself in a few years or in a few months. All right. And if you ask me, what is this? Virtual world has welcomed educational institutions, theaters, offices, and this is one big move which has happened recently. If you guys have like come across this, I'm unsure. Olympics 2021 has been having a lot of noise on social media. They have been having discussions. People have been asking, how is the Olympics going to be conducted? Now, recently, a week back, Olympics has announced that Olympics will be launching the Olympics virtual series this year. So it's the biggest news. Like we had like IPL virtual series, which were all like, it was not a virtual series, but then players were playing and we were all viewing it from our homes. But then this Olympic virtual series will be broadcasted, and they are like planning to bring in a lot of audience to get used to the virtual gaming platforms. So the world's biggest athletic game, Olympic, has moved to virtual platform. So that gives us some sense, some signals to that the digital will be the next biggest revolution in the internet. All right. Now, as considering all these, virtual has become the new normal. When we are all saying staying at home is a new normal, working with pajamas is a new normal, it's time to say virtual is a new normal, and we should all agree to it and go with the flow. So now, are you looking to start your own business? Do you have an idea to start your own business? If you have already got an idea, or if you're already thinking of on some business lines, okay, I'm thinking to do something to the working women. I'm thinking to introduce some products to kids, some innovative products. So any idea, if you have a rough idea, so and if you are planning to jump online, considering the situation, you will not be able to open like any physical shop and sell it and things like that, but you can have your own inventory, you can have your factory place, you can produce in your own home, and you can have your goodies area right at your home. So there are no restrictions for you to Sell your product, sell your service, because you have showed the power of social media in your hand. You just have the products ready, you just have the services ready, and then jump into social media with the right plan, and you will automatically see your products being asked from people. Your products will be sold like unexpectedly only when you have the right social media plan. So if you're looking to jump into social media, ask yourself these 5 questions before you start your social media journey. The first question will be, is social media essential for your business? Right? So you have to consider, like, if it is going to be any market. Now this question, it will be like, the answer would be like yes for 99% of the product or services that you have in mind. So just think, is social media essential for your business? The second question will be, is your target audience online? Now analyze your competitors. Say if you are going to give a kid product, a product, wooden based product for kids, I'm sure there are already many competitors online. So now go and see, is your product, is your target audience online? Or if you're going to invent some new product which is not at all in the market, which is not at all available in the global market, just go and research on your own and analyze if you have any similar audience present online, so that when you are going to start your page, you'll be able to at least resonate with some selling points of other audiences. Okay. And the next question will be, what are your goals with social media marketing? Now, when I say this, what are your goals with social media marketing? Why are you starting your online page? Do you want leads? Do you want people to purchase through social media? Or do you want to do just branding on social media? When I say branding, it is like you just want people to know the brand by doing some kick-ass activities, creative video campaigns, conduct contests, and you are not at all doing the selling. You don't do selling. If that is your target, if you are like already like very convinced with your product identity, you are like, my brand will automatically sell when people come to know about it. So if you are in that mindset, then you should just go with branding. So you have to decide whether you want people to purchase via social media or just know your brand via social media and go to the shops and buy your product. All right. So decide that goal first. Next, do you have a plan in place to help guide your use of social media marketing? Now, the plan, when I say the plan, it doesn't have to be like very elaborate and very brief. So you can start small. You can just get started with it. And then slowly, as and when you go through the journey, you will explore many more opportunities. And when I say plan, this is a social media plan. Okay. So you don't have to like, okay, let me go to an agency, let me hire a digital marketer and let's start. No, you don't have to wait for that. You have an idea in mind, get started with it, and then approach expertise in the industry, and then they will help you leverage your presence. All right. So when you are done answering these questions, jot down these questions, ask yourself, if the answer is yes for all of these questions, then there are 3 C's you have to consider before you start marketing your product online. The first C will be content. All right. Content is the king when it comes to digital marketing. Create content that your users might be interested in. Invest in content, like whatever you're going to do, whether you're going to be on Facebook, whether you're going to be on Instagram, or you're just going to open your website and you're just going to be on YouTube, you're going to put YouTube videos, whatever it is, whichever platform you are in, content is the only major thing that people will come to you for. All right. So unlike other modes of digital presence, content has a subtle presence in consumers' mind, and sometimes without much effort, we can get into the psyche of the readers of our content. Okay. With the content, you can enter, you can grab a mind share of your audience. Now, I will show you a few screenshots, a few brand examples where content has helped the brand grow much. All right. Now, when you ask like invest in content or inbound marketing, so when I say invest in content, you have to invest in, if you are like having a product, if you're having, say, if you're having a coffee product, or if you're having soap, you're going to prepare your own soaps and facial powders from your home. So you have to invest in content. When I say invest in content, it's going to be, you have to invest in quality photography, videography of your making. So you have to have those tools to present it to the audience in a good way. All right. Now, or inbound so you have to invest in all of these, create collaterals, give on your YouTube channel, go and dump your channel with videos on Instagram, shoot and create content. And now when you do all of these, now you'll have to have budgets to it. All right. When you post something on Instagram, when you post something on YouTube, or you have created a kick-ass video and you want people to share it, save it, comment on it. Now, since you are just started the page, you have to put budgets to it. You have to add money to it to promote it. Now, this is one way of investing in content. Without this, inbound marketing, there's something called inbound marketing, which doesn't have much investment as a cost. When I say it doesn't have an investment, it will be like rather than you going to your customers will come to you. See, now when you invest in content, when you invest in photography, videography, and creating posters, creating series posts, and all that, you're creating something and you're taking it to the audience. When you're adding budgets, you are taking it to the audience. But in inbound marketing, when you do the basic research work properly, automatically audience are going to come to you. Now, when I say that, I would like to I will show you a few examples. Inbound marketing involves creating your website, creating your own blog, all right, creating videos and putting it on YouTube. So these all will come under inbound marketing. And why I'm saying this is organic in the sense, see, now how do you do all this? How do you make people come to your brand without selling it? Now that's a big question. Like, I have created my website, I have created my blog page. Now people are going to come to me. How does that happen? Now the answer is, people like to research before making up their mind. See, that's what we all of us do, right? So before you make a purchase or you want to buy some perfume, you immediately go to Google and type best perfume in the market. Or if you're planning to buy Charlie, you're just going to you're going to type Charlie in Amazon and Google, and the result page come, right? So you are you are in an oscillation to buy this product or that product. So you go to Google and ask which is best. Okay. And a list of Google results come. Okay. And when you read an article written by someone telling this is the best, this is best, you make a decision. So when people are reading articles, they feel like they are in control of the situation, right? Now the brand is not making them purchase. They are reading an article and they are deciding which brand to purchase. But if you see from a marketer's perspective, in a subtle way, the brand has already put itself in the subconscious. See, now when I say inbound marketing, I told like you have to create like website, blogs, be on Quora. Let me show you something. 1 second. So yeah, see, when I say I wanted to join a digital marketing institute in Chennai, maybe. Okay, so now I'm going to search in Google best digital marketing institute in Chennai. Okay, I'm typing this and I'm getting the Google results. Okay, now these are all ads. See, these highlighted words are the keywords. Now these websites, okay, these websites have used the keyword and they have content written based on that. Okay, now when I come down, see, now this space is the most important thing which we have to consider. See, now this is Quora. If you are like opening any business, starting any business online, make sure you list your product or service on Quora, because I think most of you would be able to relate. Whenever you have some doubt, whenever you have a question, whenever you have an unsolved mystery or something, you go to you don't go to Quora, but when you type it on Google as a question, the results that come, the Google shows organically. It will be the first 5 Google research results. One of it will be Quora. Okay. Now this is not paid. See now, when you see all of these, when you see such indications, ad, so these are all paid. These are all paid ads which are meant to, they have like created to rank it with when somebody types this keyword. Okay, this is paid. Below that, whatever is coming or organic. Okay, so Quora is purely organic, which does not require any investment from your side. You just have to go to Quora and create an account in your business, or you can go and create a, see, I'm planning to do a digital marketing course. I'm in Chennai. What is a good institute in Chennai for people? Somebody had asked this. Okay, and there are so many answers. All right, now this is called inbound marketing, and one of the answer, I would not like to reveal that. One of the answers in this will be the company itself. Now, say if I have an ABC Digital Marketing Institute in Chennai, my digital marketing institute name is ABC. Okay, so I'm going to create a profile in another name, and I'm going to come and write an answer for this question as, hey, hi, to answer your question, I have studied in ABC Digital Marketing Institute, and it's the best institute in Chennai. They have the best trainers. You'll have hands-on experience with Facebook. So I'm going to type all of these. Okay. When I type all of these, people who are coming, and I will also give my website. For more details, visit abcwebsite.com. Okay. Now people will already look. Now I'm a testimonial. Okay. I have faked the testimonial and I have written on that. So maybe I can write from my company page also. Hey, hi, I see you are looking for to join our digital marketing institute. Why don't you call us for a demo? Something like that. So this is purely organic. Now I'm creating content and taking it to people. Now I'm not taking it to people. I'm making people come to me. All right. So that's the difference between investing in content with cost and doing some inbound marketing, which is the most sought after thing when you come to amplifying your content. All right. So let's get back. So you decide if you have to, like, if you have budgets in hand, invest in content, add budgets to it, and amplify your content. And if you're okay with, if you have resources that can do SEO for you on your website, create your blog page and write articles. If you're a good content writer and you can write your own articles and publish your own blog, then get started with it immediately without doubt. It will organically give you customers. Okay. So remember, people don't purchase products, they purchase stories and knowledge. So even if you're having a product, or even though you're going to sell a service, you have to tell good stories to them. Even if it is going to be Mercedes Benz, only if they hear from people that Mercedes Benz is doing some fantabulous job with me, it's like superpower and all this, like it's the consumer behavior, right? When somebody says it, when we feel like, even if you're going to buy something without asking anybody, then you will like call people and ask how is it working. So people purchase only based on testimonials, based on stories that they hear from other people. So give them the right content, and I'm sure your brand will be consumed. Okay. And the next C is, the first C in marketing was content, and the next C is consistency. Consistency is the queen. Content is a king and consistency is the queen. Okay. Uh, from billboards to pop-up messages, the brands that create content can become a consistent player in digital marketing. When I say consistency, there are two things that I refer here. Consistent with your posting. Okay. So you're going to make one post today and you're going to come back after 2 weeks only and you're going to put another post. You're not consistent. People are not going to remember you. So the frequency of you posting on your social media pages is one form of consistency. And another thing is people remember you for the consistency you have. Like they immediately recognize a piece of content if and only if you have created a unique content strategy. I'm going to show you some examples, okay, where some brands have like created a consistency in their messaging, in their communication, in their creatives, and without even putting the company logo, people will identify what brand it is. Okay, I'm going to show you some screenshots where you will now. Are you guys? I'm sure many of you will be able to find what the brand is. Now these are just French fries, and now this is a special day post. This is a post for Eid. Okay, it's like two hands praying. Okay. Now the moment we all see French fries on billboards or mobile phone, the brand that comes to our mind is McDonald's, right? So whatever the creatives, wherever you see burgers or French fries, McDonald's is not the only brand that sells French fries, right? There are so many brands. Even KFC has French fries, but they don't talk about it on their communication or their ads. Why? Because French fries has been vigorously marketed by McD that it is a McD advertisement. All right. Now, see, this is another advertisement poster by McD. Now, this is their Yam logo. Okay. And it says, I'm loving it, which is their tagline. Yes, I do. Okay. This is done for Valentine's Day. See, now there's no logo in it. That's the point. But people will still be able to find what the brand is because of their consistency. See, this is one famous billboard. And there's no logo. They have just put the lights in such a way it shows the brand name and they have just said open at night. Now, wherever you see the yum, wherever you see the French fries, wherever you see the burger, people are forced to think that it is McD. So now that's the consistency that they have maintained in taking their brand to people. All right. Now, this is an example of maintaining consistency in your content. And next is an example. Now, I'm sure like being teenagers, being college going students, I'm sure many of you would be able to find from which Instagram page I have taken this. Not all relationships will lead to marriage. Some will help you discover new restaurants. So Jay Shetty. So he's been consistent in his Instagram page. There are at least 2 to 3 posts that come into my Instagram page. If you're following Jay Shetty on Instagram, you would for sure get 2 to 3 posts on Instagram every day. So this is one template that he's maintained. See now, there's no mark of Jay Shetty or there's not even his sign. But people, there are like lakhs and lakhs of likes and thousands of comments in this post. All right. So the consistency that is maintained, he always makes sure that he bombards the Instagram feed with his post because every day there are 3 posts coming. So that is the consistency that you have to maintain. People should not forget you. So remember, out of sight is equal to out of mind. You're going to start your brand page, do some kick-ass activities for 1 month, and even if you have gained 10K followers, but you're going to disappear for 1 week, people will forget you. All your marketing efforts will go in vain. So plan your frequency of posting right at the beginning. In the first 1 week, maybe you start posting every day you have because you have like so much content and you are so excited. Okay, let me post every day. Come on, you're posting. And in the next week, if you don't have content, all the likes, all the followers that you have got in the last 1 week will run away from you. So have the content ready in place in advance and then plan the month ahead so that you don't miss on the consistency part. Okay. The next important C of social media marketing is creativity. You have to be creative to stand out from the crowd. You have to do creative stuff, creative campaigns, creative poster ideas to grab that mind share of the people. Now if you have seen, like, now I showed McDonald's and other things, right? So they are now, people are able to relate to the brand because they're creative in some way and they make eyes turn. They make eyes stare at least into the poster for 2 minutes, right? So that is the mindset they have got. I am going to show you some brands creative campaigns that they have done. This one, the most creative brand online for social media, which social media marketers like me prefer to benchmark, take inspirations from, is Durex. Okay, Durex is one creative brand in India, like, which is doing some kick-ass work. Okay, now people wait on special days like Eid, Valentine's Day, whatever the day is, but they just have one product. They sell condoms, right? So they somehow creatively connect all the special days with their product. So that's how they stand out from the other products that are available in the market. See, now this is for uh, Valentine's Day, and we have shown the thing like a ring. And she said, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Now this is a post for Children's Day. We don't kid. Now that's a very good wordplay that they have done. We don't kid, because when you use condoms, you are protecting yourself from pregnancy. Yeah. When it comes to safe and pleasurable sex. Now see, now this just another day for us, and they've blown the condoms and they have creatively made it as balloons, right? This is for Independence Day, and they have told freedom means responsibility. What a creativity, right? See, now all the, now you would, like, for Children's Day, if you were a person handling a condom brand, will you even tell, like, tell your marketers to do some posts? So that's where the marketing team stands out. That's where the marketing minds stand out. Okay, so anything that is topical, anything that can grab attention, if you are able to see, now this is very very minimalistic. We don't kid. That's it. This has got some innumerable number of shares on social media and people talk about it. Okay, so the 3 C's of social media marketing that you should consider if you're planning to come online will be, the first one will be the content, your consistency, and most importantly your creativity. Okay, now then, when you have devised all your C's for your marketing, you have to decide what is your brand voice. Brand voice, when I say brand voice, it will be the tone of your communication, the tone of your messaging, the tone of your posters. How are you going to be representing your brand? Are you going to be a friendly brand, or are you going to be an expert brand? Something like that. You have to decide. So 4 things which you have to decide before confirming on your brand voice will be your goals. All right. Now take a close look at your mission of your business. When you think of a business idea, what is your mission with the market? And think all the way back to your brand story. Try to remember the reason why you started your business, why you wanted to start this business. Maybe you want to help women, you wanted to help children, or you wanted to help parents with uh, kids friendly products, or you want to help women with reusable pads. What was your reason to start your business? That spark had the power to change your life. Right now you just had the spark and you are into thinking about your business. So use it in your messaging to change others lives too. See, when you are if you are trying to put a product for women, reusable pad. Okay, now why you thought of it? Because you would have faced certain situations, or you have been like maybe pulled into some situation where you felt this shouldn't be done, or you were a victim of it, right? Now put that into your communication. Say, have you ever felt this way by this now? Are you feeling this way? Are you feeling, are you giving to the nature, or are we depleting the nature? So let's get converted to reusable pads. Let's get converted to reusable this thing. So whatever made you give the business idea, put that into your communication. All right. And are you influenced? Now when you decide your brand voice, you will be influenced, because when now if you are like looking into giving a reusable pad or a biodegradable pad to people, now I am sure there are already competitors online. So when you do the market research and when you decide your brand voice, maybe you will be influenced, like unintentionally you will be influenced by the posters, by the stories of other brands, and you will be, without even your knowledge, you will be using their brand language. Okay. So everything, so do you sound like yourself, or are you heavily influenced by your competitors? Do you, do your words reflect your brand values? Use these insights to guide your future messaging to reflect the kind of brand you want to build. Okay, don't get influenced by other brands or competitors. You have to be very mindful of that, because you will not intentionally do it, but when you see other brands do it, you will unintentionally do it. Okay, so be very mindful of that. And do you know your audience? Who are they? How do you want them to feel after using your product or engaging with your service? Use these insights when you decide on your brand voice. And the last one is power words. Okay. When I say power words, you make a list of power words that you want to shine through in all your communications, and repeat these words throughout your messaging. I'm sure many of the brands have taglines, right? They use it again back and back and register in the people's mind. Okay, இது சொன்னாலே இந்த brand தான், இது சொன்னாலே இந்த brand தான் அப்படின்னு. Okay, the point is to make your brand memorable. So don't worry about being repetitive. If you have one tagline, use it as much as you can, and use it however you can, so that you like, oh, the brand is coming to my mind. So you go to that level of gaining the mind share from people. I'm going to show you some examples. See now, this is for the, if you're on Instagram, and if you're looking for skincare products on Instagram, there's a brand called Bilba. Okay, now they are very much, they if you guys don't know about Bilba, it is a skincare brand, skincare, hair care, and they have products based on that. So the way they started themselves was like they wanted to position themselves as a natural oriented brand with which does not have any chemicals used in their skincare products. So whatever be the communication, they will stick to their goals. When I said in the last, I said you decide your brand voice based on your goals, right? So their brand voice is whatever post you see from them, it will be like they are very naturally acclimatized to their product, to communicating to their audience. See how to naturally style your curly hair with Bilbas. When even styling your curly hair, they does not encourage you using a curler or a straightener or an ironer or something. They are telling their product can even curl your hair if you use their shampoo and conditioner. So they are sticking to their goals no matter what. Now this is another brand which has used the power of words. Their tagline was, if you have like remember like 2-3 years back when Levista was launched in Tamil Nadu, they were like so much into like sponsoring Big Boss, Super Singer, and all that. They had huge market, they had huge budgets to invade into the South Indian market, and they have did some kick-ass marketing things. Like Chennai எல்லாம் பாத்தீங்கன்னா எங்க பார்த்தாலும் பஸ், billboards, autos, radio, social media, everywhere Levista was, because that was their launch and they wanted to be everywhere. எங்க people பார்த்தாலும் they wanted to be there. So அப்போ அவங்க tagline was, ஒரு தடவை ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க, கண்டிப்பா மாறிடுவீங்க. Alright, so this was their campaign. So எல்லா இடத்துலயும் all the things had like, ஒரு தடவை ட்ரை பண்ணி பாருங்க, மாறிடுவீங்க. Try once, you will love it. Try once, you will love it. So this is their social media post, which creatively has infused their tagline. See, now this is, if you guys are following Game of Thrones, you would have seen this guy. Okay. I think it was during the launch of some episode. They have placed Levista mug in his hand and he's saying, Na maariten appo neenga. Okay. Now this was Chennai Beach to Tambaram train. It was given a makeover of Levista instant coffee, and they have creatively infused their tagline into this. Na maariten appo neenga. The train maariduchu appo neenga unna maaraleya. Okay. Now, creatively, very funnily, they have their brand voice, their brand tagline, they are putting into the everyday lives of people. Okay. So now this is where you have to think when you set your brand voice. Okay, I have talked so much, and I think so much of you are bored listening to my yarns. So I'm going to show you some brand examples, which are revolutionize the market. Okay. Before showing you some kick-ass examples, I'm going to show you some videos, and with that we will end the session. I think we're already at 6 o'clock. So just 10 more minutes, we'll end the session with some super insights that we received from few videos. Before that, I wanted to tickle your thoughts. Now, have you ever come across an ad on Facebook which you just Googled and were pulled into shock? Okay. Have you guys, what is this? நீங்க வந்து இப்ப ஏதாவது கூகுள் பண்ணிருந்திருப்பீங்க, and immediately you go to Facebook or Instagram, you will see a brand that is selling you the same product which you just Googled. Maybe you would have searched best skincare product, best lip balm, best bird oil. You have searched that on Google, and the moment you switch back to your Facebook app, Vilva bird oil, Pond's bird oil, they're showing you something. So how does that happen? Have you ever wondered? Now the answer for this question is very, very easy. I'm sure many of you know it already. The next question that comes will be a little tricky, which you will need my expertise to. Sorry. So to answer this easy question, because you have your Gmail ID logged into your mobile, right? And it is connected across all social media apps. Hence, you are tracked, okay? Because when you search on your Google, your Gmail is already in your mobile. So you have anyway signed in to Facebook and Instagram with your Gmail ID only. So they'll be able to track you and they will bombard you with ads related to lip balms, okay? Now, Facebook says they don't listen to our conversations, but they don't say they don't track you, okay? In fact, the social network actually is quite open about the tracking. Now, most of us know that every time we like a post, every time you leave a comment, you tag a friend, that gives Facebook even more rights to serve you with ads. In what post have you tagged your friend? In what post what is a post that you have saved? What is a post that you have shared? Based on that, many related posts will be coming on your feed. Now, for say example, I follow Jay Shetty today. I follow, maybe I like a post of Jay Shetty today. Tomorrow, people who are in the fraternity similar to Jay Shetty, maybe Mahatriya or Robin Sharma or something, I will get posts from those people. How does that happen? Because they have tracked my interest. I'm interested in a relationship post of Jay Shetty, and Robin Sharma, Mahatriya are the people who are into the same category on Instagram, right? So they will also capture my profile and they will start sending me their posts until I click the follow button on their profile. Okay. Now, this is one way. You search about something and you are getting a Facebook ad or an Instagram ad is convincing, right? Now, the next question is, have you ever come across an ad on which you never Googled or never talked about? Now, that is little tricky, right? இப்ப நான் கூகுள்ல போய் சர்ச் பண்ணிருக்கேன், அதனால ஏதோ கனெக்ட் பண்ணி ஏதோ ஒரு மெஷின் லாங்குவேஜ் ஏதோ ஒண்ணு உள்ள வச்சு கண்டுபிடிச்சிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு கூட ஏதாவது சொல்லிக்கலாம். பட் நான் எங்கேயுமே சர்ச் பண்ணல, நான் யார்கிட்டயுமே இதை பத்தி பேசல. பட் யூ வில் see an ad that comes across you, because you have just thought about one brand, okay? And maybe you have like seen few ads on your phone. அதை பத்தி நீங்க எங்கேயுமே பேசியிருக்க மாட்டீங்க, நீங்க எதுவுமே சொல்லியிருக்க மாட்டீங்க, நீங்க நினைச்சு கூட இருக்க மாட்டீங்க. பட் தென் அதை பத்தி ஆட் வரும். ஹவ் யூ எவர் வண்டர்ட் இது இந்த ஆட் எனக்கு எதுக்கு வருது அப்படின்னு? That's maybe I will give you one situation. All right, one second. So say you are going to your friend's home, okay? You're going to your friend's home and your friend is talking about buying a guitar, okay? And you don't know anything about guitar, so she's telling, I have to, like, I'm thinking of buying a guitar, I'm thinking of learning a guitar in this lockdown and all that, okay? Now you're coming back to your home, okay? You're coming back to your home and you're taking your mobile to see ads on guitar, on buying a guitar. Now how does that happen? Your friend talked about it, you didn't talk anything about it because you had no idea about the guitar, but you are getting an ad to buy a guitar. This will happen. This could have definitely happened in your past life. Maybe you would have left it unnoticed, but maybe நீங்க இன்னும் கான்சியஸா வாட்ச் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சீங்கன்னா ஃபியூச்சர்ல எங்கேயாவது வாட்ச் பண்ண you will know, ஆமா அன்னைக்கு அவங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி this is happening அப்படின்னு. Now what is the science behind this? Okay, now is Facebook listening to you, or your social media apps listening to your conversations? Because that was only a year to your conversation, and how come it came into your phone? Now this is a conspiracy theory, okay? Frankly, they don't social media apps don't need to eavesdrop you, because everything else you give them unthinkingly is a way cheaper. Your apps collect a ton of data from your phone, from your phone ID to your location to your demographics. We all know this, right? So when you use your card in supermarket, your data is sold. You give your email ID and you give your phone number, your data is sold, because Gmail ID is the primary thing that you connect all your social media apps. ஸோ ஏதாவது ஃபார்ம்ல நீங்க எங்க ஜிமெயில் ஐடி ஃபில் பண்ணி கொடுத்தாலும் அந்த ஜிமெயில் ஐடியோட நீங்க எந்த ஆப் கிரியேட் பண்ணியிருந்தாலும் they will come into your phone, okay? Now coming to the answer which I was talking about, if my phone is in the same GPS location as another phone, social media apps and your mobile phone take note of that. They start reconstructing the web of people I'm in regular contact with. So நான் என் ஃப்ரெண்ட் வீட்ல இருந்தேன், my friend talked about guitar, okay? Now social media apps via the GPS location has tapped on my phone from my friend's phone, okay? The social media app that she uses, maybe she is thinking of buying a guitar அப்படின்னு என்கிட்ட அவ சொல்லிருக்கா, okay? But she has already done some research, maybe அதை பத்தி ஏதாவது சர்ச் பண்ணிருப்பா. நான் தான் சர்ச் பண்ணல, because I don't want to buy it. When she says that, she is already, நான் இந்த அமேசான்ல பார்த்தேன், இதுல நல்லா இருக்கு, அதுல பெஸ்டா இருக்கு பார்த்தேன் அப்படின்னு she is telling you, okay? Now her GPS has tapped your GPS and it will, that's how it shows you, okay? The advertisers are cross-referencing your interest and purchase history to those around you. Now the advertisers in her mobile have referenced your mobile, okay? It starts showing you different ads based on the people around you. Now இதை நீங்க இன்னைக்கு பாத்தீங்கன்னா maybe you are going to call her and tell, நேத்து நீ கேட்டுட்டு இருந்த, இன்னைக்கு எனக்கு ஒரு ஆட் வந்துச்சு நான் பார்த்தேன். That's all. Family, friends, co-workers, anybody you are surrounded with, your GPS with the people you surround will be tracked, and that's why you are receiving ads on products and services that you're not at all interested in. நான் கார் வாங்கணும்னு நினைக்கவே இல்லையே, இன்னைக்கே எனக்கு ஒரு கார் ஆட் வருது. ஆபீஸ்ல உன் பக்கத்துல உட்காந்துருந்தவன் கார் வாங்கணும்னு ஏதாவது சர்ச் பண்ணிருந்திருப்பான், ரைட்? காலேஜ்ல நீங்க வந்து ஏதாவது தீம் பார்க் போகணும் அப்படின்னு பிளான் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க. அடுத்த நாள் வந்து somebody unrelated to your gang is getting a ad on theme park, summer offer 499 for a gang அப்படிங்களா. So she's like wondering, நான் போகணும்னு நினைக்கவே இல்லையே, because some other gang in your college has discussed it and they have tapped your GPS location from your phone and they have taken all the data, okay? Now this club subliminally gets me to start a conversation about going to a theme park. Okay, now how does that help the brand? இப்போ இன்னொருத்தவங்களை டேப் பண்ணி அவளுக்கு அந்த இன்ட்ரெஸ்டே இல்ல, தீம் பார்க் போகணும்னு அவன் நினைக்கவே இல்லை, பட் அவளுக்கு இதை கொடுத்து என்ன யூஸ்? See it from a marketing perspective. Maybe when she sees that ad, because they're also in the same demographic, same age, same people, same class, இவங்க ஒருத்தவங்களுக்கு பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறது இன்னொருத்தவங்க பண்ணணும்னு நினைக்கிறதுக்கு ரொம்ப நாள் ஆகாது, ரைட்? ஸோ அவங்களுமே வந்து ஏன் நம்ம போனா என்ன அப்படின்னு நினைக்கப்பட்டாங்க. ஸோ தட்ஸ் வேர் யுவர் ப்ராடக்ட் ஆர் சர்வீஸ் ஸ்டார்ட்ஸ் கிளிக்கிங். ஓகே, your social media apps, your phone never needs to listen to you for this. It is just comparing the aggregated metadata. Okay. So I'm going to show you. So enough of blah 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 talking from my side. So I'm going to show you some marketing tactics that are done by few brands online. When you are thinking of devising your online strategy, just keep these in mind and see if you can crack something these up. Okay. Now, viral marketing. Okay, I'll show you like 2 examples of viral marketing. Now, what is a viral marketing? It is a way of generating interest in a brand or a product through messages that spread quickly from person to person. Okay, the idea is that the users themselves choose to share the content. வைரல் கான்டென்ட்னா இப்ப நம்ம ஒண்ணு கிரியேட் பண்ணி அதை நம்மளே வைரல் ஆக்கணும், இது வந்து நம்ம போட்டு இது நம்ம எல்லா இடத்துலயும் போடணும் அப்படின்னு பண்றது வைரல் மார்க்கெட்டிங் கிடையாது. யூ கிரியேட் சம்திங் அண்ட் கிவ் இட் டு தி ஆடியன்ஸ் அண்ட் ஆடியன்ஸ் மல்டிப்ளை இட், தி ஆடியன்ஸ் ஆம்பிளிஃபை இட். ஓகே, so I'm going to show you something called ALS bucket challenge. All right, now this was a challenge created by an association. ALS is a disease. Okay, they wanted to create awareness about the disease called ALS. Okay, so they wanted to also raise donations for that disease. So what they created is it's called an ice bucket challenge. You will understand when you see this video. I guys want you to see this video and bear with my internet. Oh. So this is the mantra of viral marketing. Give your customers easy to share content and give it on the right platform. Now, if you don't like, if you are not able to grab what this is about, it is Ice Bucket Challenge created by the ALS Association. They wanted to raise donations for the disease. Now, what they did is they wanted people, they threw a challenge asking people to either dump themselves with a ice bucket on their head and challenge three people. If the challenge three people are not able to do that, they have to donate certain amount to the ALS Association for the people who are suffering from the disease. Okay. Now this has now it was like some 6 years back, but even now when you say viral marketing, which has got like crazy views, crazy shares on social media, when it comes to user generated content, this is the one campaign that people refer to. It has generated about millions of money for the association for curing the people who are infected or diagnosed with ALS. Now, celebrities like Bill Gates done this challenge, Barack Obama done this challenge, Akshay Kumar, many Indian celebrities. So it invaded from countries to countries, and the donations that unexpectedly fell into ALS Association was massive. So all this happened because of the social media sharing that happened, right? So that is one thing which was an example of viral marketing. And one more thing, this is my personal favorite. Nokia has made this few years back. If you guys have noticed, Nokia, when we say Nokia phone, the tap keypad phone, we are all like, they wanted to connect to the millennials emotions. Okay, we all still miss the video games, playing Super Mario, the snake game on our parents' Nokia mobile and all that, right? So they took that portion of emotion from your customers and they made a superb campaign. I love this video, and this is my personal favorite when it comes to uh, the marketing tactics that they have used. So this is 2 minute video, but it will be superb. Just listen to the concept. Oh my god! Okay, so that was my personal favorite. Uh, Guerrilla marketing. Okay. Now, viral marketing is you give easy content for people to share and amplify it. So, what is guerrilla marketing? It is a strategy to take customers by surprise or creating out of the box interactions or product placements so as to pull in audiences' attention. Now, this does not involve cost or involves like very less cost, but it takes your audience by surprise. It is shockingly great advertisements on low budget. Okay, now just see some brands which went. Uh, Okay, this is quite a long video. So as we're already running out of time, you can like go to YouTube and search for guerrilla marketing techniques, few brands done. If you have like seen like McDonald's, or one thing which I can tell you immediately is Spotify end of the year campaign. If you are on Spotify, like towards the end of 2020, if you have noticed, they had a campaign telling analyzing your character based on the playlist or the number of songs you have listened to, right? And many people were sharing, and they also gave you a template. Spotify, your 1 year of listenings, like how many podcasts have you listened, how many Kutu songs have you listened, how many Jay Shetty podcasts you have listened, or Justin Bieber song you have listened, based on that. And there were like many celebrities who were sharing this, and this brought in a lot of people to install Spotify. Okay, now that's a guerrilla marketing technique. They didn't invest on anything; they just updated the app with some templates, and Spotify users started sharing it on their Instagram stories, and it became revenue for them as many people installed Spotify. So nanume in the year endla dhan Spotify install panna because I was like very comfortable with using Wink and Amazon Music. Okay, but when I saw that Spotify, everybody was like year in December la everybody was like sharing stories. என்னோட இது என்னோட இதுன்னு I was like, okay, நானும் போய் அதை ஷேர் பண்ணுங்கிறதுக்காக Spotify install பண்ணேன், but then I haven't uninstalled so far. Okay, so now that's one subtle technique which marketers can use. And the next one is earned media. Now this is also another big video which I will skip it off. Now I'll just tell you what is earned media. Now when I say earned media, it is receiving publicity or exposure from your customers by ways other than paid media. Okay, now we are not putting in any cost. Now இப்போ guerrilla marketing பாத்தீங்கன்னா அவங்க வந்து it's little cost that is involved. Okay, Spotify template use பண்றதுக்கு, but then who is amplifying it are the customers. இதுல வந்து it is completely the customers that are going to take your product to the next line. Now if you have shared any brands post on your story, or if you have like given shout outs, or you have reshared word of mouth, if you have spoken about any brand to a friend or a colleague, now that brand has already earned you, okay, through their work or service or follow up or whatever thing. So now that is earned media because they have earned one customer, and through word of mouth they are receiving plus customers. Okay, now earned media plays an important value in understanding a brand's value and credibility. Okay, only if I trust a brand, only if I'm happy with the brand, I'm going to recommend it to people who I love the most. Okay, now this is another technique for launching a brand. When you are starting a brand, now create a buzz. We have seen this a few, I think a year back or 2 years back. Everywhere in Chennai, the hoardings எல்லாம் இருந்துச்சு, எட்டுக்குள்ள உலகம் இருக்கு ராமையான். Now this was the teaser. Now this was just a teaser which was rewarding bus bags, billboards, autos, TV, எட்டுக்குள்ள உலகம் ராமையா, and that was just the tagline. It was a teaser. People were like, எட்டுக்குள்ள உலகம் ராமையா என்னது என்னது என்னது. Everybody was like, it was a buzz created around. And after 2 weeks, they revealed the product, which is Vijay Raja, 8 லட்சம். Okay, they are telling 8 லட்சத்துல உலகம். They were actually, the concept was like they were selling homes for 8 lakhs. Okay, so now they're telling 8க்குள்ள உலகம் இருக்கு ராமையா, you can own a luxurious home within 8 lakhs is the concept, and they've created enough buzz. And if you ask me how does that help them, within 3 days of announcing, revealing that Vijay Raja has homes under 8 lakhs, they received 50,000 calls in just 3 days. Okay, It's just because of that buzz that they created for the first 2 weeks. So think of such marketing tactics, how to launch your brand, how to make your brand stand out from the crowd. So when you create buzz like this, and we are sure we are like seen on TVCs all right, that ஏதாவது சொல்லி வந்து வெயிட் பண்ணுங்க 2 நாள் கழிச்சு சொல்றோம் அப்படின்னு எல்லா செலிபிரிட்டிஸும் அதை பத்தி வந்து பேசுவாங்க. இது என்னன்னு யோசிச்சுட்டு இருப்போம். And then after 2 weeks they'll come and reveal, and people will be like, oh இது வந்து, and they will remember the product for the campaign that they did. So your target, your focus should be to grab that mind share of people initially. Okay, so I'm sure I have like added few points of trigger to boosting your idea of making your business online a little. I've just given you random things on how to plan and how to execute and how not to do things and what to focus. So if you have an idea right now, and if you're able to sketch your social media plan, okay, na idella panna poren, if you're able to sketch at least a rough draft of it, just get started with it, get your creative juices flowing and start building your brand right now, because now is the time that will help your brand grow organically. And once people start going out, when we get back to our normal lives, this opportunity will just pass by like a cloud. Okay, so get started now. And I am sorry for extending your time. I've like spoken until 6:30 and I was not able to show a few videos also considering the time. Maybe one more time we will all connect, and I wanted to take everybody through specifically through each social media channel, how Facebook works, how Instagram works, how YouTube works. But given the time frame, we will not be able to cover all that. So if given another opportunity, I will be very happy to take you all through the process and bring some digital marketers right from the undergraduation level itself. So thank you guys for listening to me. And if you loved, or if you were able to at least take one takeaway from this session, connect with me on Instagram at Tamil Madhu, and tag me on your stories if anything helped you and you were able to crack something via this session. Okay, thank you.
It was a wonderful session, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
It was
have a nice day, guys. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye.
Students, there is a feedback form in the chat box. Fill up the feedback form.
Sorry, I forgot to ask. If you guys have any doubts or questions to ask me, you guys can throw your questions on the chat box or just switch on your video.
Ma'am, shall I? Ma'am?
Yes, please.
Audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, first of all, I would like to tell it was wonderful session, and it was great knowing about content, consistency, and creativity. Coming to my question, recently there is a new IT rules in India, which is some social media companies are not agreeing with new law. Will it affect the social media marketing, ma'am?
No, that was just a rumor created. It was not a rumor, but it was an guideline that was enforced by the directory to all the social media apps to comply to it. And Facebook and Instagram, like Facebook is connected to Instagram only, and Zuckerberg has obeyed to the guidelines, and he has given the appropriate rights that was requested by the government. So that we are past that, and we can very well use Facebook and Instagram. We will not have any ban on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media app which we are currently using now. Like if you are like expecting like TikTok mari idalam panniduvangala, that will not happen, because Modi knows, people know most of the brands revolve around social media. They just want to make some tight regulations about, because இப்போ எல்லாருமே அதுல வந்துட்டு இருக்கிறதுனால it should not be easy for people, and people should not be fooled by many brands, right? இப்போ பாத்தீங்கன்னா இப்போ யூ சி ஆன் இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் இன்ஃபுளுசர் மார்க்கெட்டிங் எல்லாம் பண்ணுவாங்க. நிறைய இன்ஃபுளுசர்ஸ் வந்து ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் பிராண்ட் ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் எல்லாம் வாங்கி யூஸ் திஸ், நான் அதை பண்ணிருக்கேன் அது பண்ணிருக்கேன் இதை நான் யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கேன் நீங்களும் வாங்குங்க அப்படிலாம் சொல்லுவாங்க. இப்போ லைக் எஸ்டர்டே there's a new update from Instagram telling influencers பண்றவங்க they should mention that it is an ad. Okay, now that is a new guideline that is enforced. So to regulate people's usage, people consumption on internet, such guidelines will come into force now and then, and I think we should not be scared of that, and none of the social media apps will go away from us. Don't worry.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your valuable answers.
Thank you.
Good evening, ma'am. A quick question for you. Is it wise to invest in an influencer?
Is it wise to invest in, sorry?
Is it wise to invest in an influencer as a budding entrepreneur?
Freelancer?
Influencer.
Freelancer?
No, ma'am. Influencer. Influencer. Is my voice clear? Influencer.
Influencer?
Yes, ma'am.
You wanted to become an influencer?
No, ma'am. My question is it wise to invest in an influencer as a budding entrepreneur to brand my product or something other?
Yes. That's the best strategy if you want to start with. If you have budgets in hand, that's the best way to take your brand to people. Because as I said, people purchase stories and knowledge and not your products. Okay. And when you choose an influencer, it is to be in general, it is the best strategy to go for. But when you choose an influencer, you have to be very careful about it. What is your product? And if you are a food product, or if you are a food product, then you cannot go to some fashion blogger and ask them to talk about your product. Now these influencers also will have their own options and own ways of scrutinizing the brand. See, now I'm a fashion blogger. Now me talking about food will not be the right thing. So if you have a food product or a food service, you go to people and research on profiles that talk about that they have already talked about food. They have something to do on the review websites, Zomato reviews, இந்த மாதிரி reviews எல்லாம் போடுவாங்கல்ல. So அது மாதிரி influencers எல்லாம் அது மாதிரி பண்றதெல்லாம் இருக்காங்க. So you just take the right people so that when such people do, it won't look as a marketing tactic. It won't look as a paid advertising. அவங்களுமே வந்து நேச்சுரலா நான் இதை யூஸ் பண்ணேன், genuinely I like this அப்படின்னு சொன்னாங்கன்னா, because they have already done such and they have earned the credibility of their followers. Now that will be easy for people to buy that. Okay, so and Subiksha Venkat வந்து இதை சொல்லியிருக்காங்க, நான் முன்னாடியே அவங்க சொன்னதை நான் யூஸ் பண்ணேன், it worked for me அப்படின்னா they will be able to relate. So influencer thing is the best thing it's a easiest way to reach your audience, I would say. But then you have to be very careful in choosing the influencer that you are willing to work with.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, any other questions?
Participants, do you have any other questions? Please come forward.
All right, so
I guess the questions only that much. I thank you, ma'am.
okay,
Thank
you.
Wonderful session today on behalf of everyone and SRM IST. Thank you for taking the time to spend with us today on the topic digital media marketing. It was very interactive. It was wonderful.
Sure. Thank you guys. Have a nice evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.